I'm going to make my spelling words pretty big so that way you all can see them pretty easily. All you need to do is make sure that you copy them down correctly. That way when you're practicing during the week, you don't have to worry about if they're misspelled or not. All right? This week, we have, I believe it's just 10 words this week. Okay. So, the first word that we have is the word better. Okay? So it's B E T T E R. That's our first spelling word for this week. Better. The next spelling word for this week is funny. F-U-N-N-Y. Yes, Ezekiel.
Could we type it?
It'd be better to make sure that you copy it down into a piece of paper. That way you have it for when you're going to be doing your homework later this week. And like I said, I'm going to explain how we're going to do the homework. All right. Next word. Our next word is dinner. D-I-N-N-E-R. Okay. Now, some of these are going to be our homophones, the words that sound the same but they mean different things. Our next word is the word ate. A-D-E. That's the kind of ate that you do with your mouth, like when you're eating lunch or eating dinner. That's that kind of ate. Our next word is another homophone. It's eight. This time it's the number kind of eight. That's E-I-G-H-T. My words are capitalized only because I want you to be able to see which letters to use, but when you're writing them, just like anything else, you wouldn't capitalize it unless you need to. So if they're the first words of your sentence or anything like that, then you would capitalize them. But just the way that they would be lowercased. Mine are just capitalized, that way it's easy for you all to tell which letters I'm using. Kind of like why I'm writing them so big. Okay, those aren't the only homophones we have this week. We have some more homophones. Our next word is the word buy. B-U-Y. That kind of buy is the kind with money, where you go to stores and you get things. That's that kind of buy. B-U-Y. Okay, our next one is another homophone. By. This time it's B-Y. And that kind of by is when we're talking about books or songs or paintings or things like that. That kind of by is you're saying that this thing, whatever it is made by this person. You're telling us who's the one who made it, whether the person who sang the song or the person who wrote the book, whatever it might be. Okay. Our next word is about. A-B-O-U-T. Our next word after about is the word hood. C-O-U-L-D. And our last word is looked. L-O-O-K-E-D. Looked. This is going to be our spelling list for this week. Better, funny, dinner, 8, like the kind you do with your food, 8, like the number, buy, like what you do with money, by, like when you're talking about a book or a song, about, could, and looked. Okay. Now, for homework, there's going to be a piece of spelling homework every day except for Friday. So Monday, there's spelling homework. Tuesday, there's spelling homework. Wednesday, there's spelling homework. Thursday, there's spelling homework. Friday, no spelling homework. Friday is the day we're going to do our spelling test. Now, as far as our homework goes, you're going to have a choice for most of the days. And I'm going to show you your choices right now. I put these on the Google Classroom for you, just in case you forget one day, what do I get to do or what is my choice for tonight? I'm going to show them to you. It'll be in our classwork under our writing topic. And it says here, spelling list homework. Like I said, you have a choice for most of the days. You don't have to do all of the choices, okay? You just pick one choice every day. The only day that doesn't have a choice is Thursday, and I'll explain why in just a second. So for tonight, since it's Monday, we have our Monday choices. So our first choice, called Fabulous 5. That's where all you have to do is write down each word 5 times each. The second choice is called Powerful Pyramids. That's where you have to make a pyramid with each word, and I kind of did an example here for you. So if we're using the word word, you'd write W, and then on the next line it's W-O, and then W-O-R, and then W-O-R-D. So what you would do is you write it letter by letter, and each letter kind of gets its own line. So you'd have W, the first letter by itself, then 2 letters, W-O, and then 3 letters, W-O-R, then 4 letters, W-O-R-D. Now, of course, for longer words, they're going to make longer pyramids because you have more letters to put. You don't just stop at 4. You'd only stop when you have the whole word written down. And the last one's called rainbow words. So for this one, you would need some colored pencils or some crayons. It says, write each word 3 times using 2 different colors. So instead of writing them with just pencil, you would need color pencil or crayon. Or you could use pencil as one of your colors and then 1 crayon or 1 color pencil if you'd like. One of the colors is for the vowels and one is for the consonants. So our vowels are letters like A, E, I, O, and U. Consonants are all of our other letters in the alphabet. So when you're writing it, you would have, let's say if you chose red and blue, and we're using the word word. W is not a vowel, so it would go in our vowel color or in our consonant color. So let's say blue. O is a vowel, so that would go into the vowel color. So let's say red. R is not a vowel, so that goes in the consonant color, the blue. And then D, also not a vowel, so that goes in the consonant color too. Like I said, you don't have to do all of them, all right? I just want you to pick one for your homework. It's going to be the same choices every week, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to choose the exact same choice every week. So this week, if you wanted to do the Fabulous 5, but next week you wanted to do the rainbow words, you could do that. It doesn't have to be the same homework every week. Now, if there's one that you like doing, then you could keep doing it every week. It's completely up to you. For Tuesday, so for tomorrow, our choices are A, B, C, easy as 1, 2, 3. And that's just where you write down the words, but you write them in A, B, C order. You go by alphabetical order. If, let's say, one of our words starts with A, it goes at the top of our list. Then if you have any words that start with B, they would go next, and then C would go next. You go till you get all the way down to the end of our list or the end of our alphabet. This one, magazine words. This one, if you have some old magazines or you have newspapers at your house, this might be one that you could do. You would look through old magazines or newspapers. You would look to find our spelling words, and then you just cut them out and glue them or tape them onto a piece of paper. And the last one for Tuesday is silly sentences. You want to try to write all of our spelling words in 10 sentences or less. So if you can make one sentence that has 2 or 3 of our spelling words, you don't have to write 10 sentences. If you can get them into less than 10 sentences, that's fine. You just want to make sure that you use all of our spelling words. If there's 2 words that start with the same letter, so let's say that 2 words that start with A, then you look at the second letter. If the second letter was, let's say, AB, and then the other word was, I don't know, let's say AO, B comes before O in the alphabet, so the AB word goes first, and then the AO word goes next. Eddie, you have a question?
My computer was freezing on me and it didn't let me come back onto the chat, so I don't know what all the spelling words are.
Okay, I'll show them again right now at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Wednesday, again, we have 3 choices. We have definition station. So what you'll do here is you write down the definition for the words. So kind of like what we talked about with the homophones. So you would write by, B-U-Y, and then next to it, you would write down the definition. What does that word mean? So if it was like B-U-Y, you could write down something like when you use money to get something. Or if the word was, let's see, what's another one of our spelling words? Dinner. You could write down the meal that you eat at the end of the day. You'd write down the definition of the word next to it. Perplexing puzzle. So this one, you make a word search out of our spelling list. Word searches are the ones that have all the letters kind of spread over the page, and then you circle the letters that make up a word. Okay? So you would have like a big box, and it would have a bunch of different letters written down in it. But if you line up the letters, say up and down, or left to right, or even diagonally, you would spell out the words. The last one is called express yourself. So you could write a story, you could write a poem, you could write a comic, but you need to use all of the words from the spelling list to finish that story or that poem or that comic. Like I said earlier, Thursday is the only day with no choices. Thursday, only one thing for homework. You study for the test, because Friday is when we're taking our spelling test. So Thursday would be the day that you study for the test. All right? Now, really quickly, Ezekiel, you had a question earlier about if you were able to type them or not. If you want to do your homework on the computer, you absolutely can. What I'll do is, since this is already in our Google Classroom, what I'll do is later on today, I'll go in and I'll add a blank doc, a Google Doc. That way, if you want to do your homework choices on the computer, you can. All right? The only thing that would be different is here, the magazine words, because if you glue paper to your computer screen, number one, I won't be able to see it, and number two, it's not very good for the computer screen. So if you choose to do this one, instead of using an old magazine or newspaper, I would want you to go ahead and search on Google for pictures that match our spelling words, okay? So you could look for like 8. You could look for like a picture of somebody eating. Maybe they're eating spaghetti or something. Or let's say dinner, you could look for maybe a big table with lots of food on it. Okay? So I'll fix that a little bit later on. That way, if you want to do your homework on the computer, you can. If you want to do it on pencil and paper, you can. Completely up to you. If you do it on pencil and paper, all you'd have to do is on Class Dojo, you could have mom or dad send me a picture of your homework when you're finished with it, okay? As far as the homework goes, I'm not going to check it every single day, all right? Because just in case, let's say tonight, something happens, you're really busy, and you can't do your homework for Monday. Tuesday, you could catch up on the homework for Monday and then do Tuesday's homework, okay? So for spelling homework, the day that I'm going to check it is going to be Friday. So that's when you have to have your homework finished, all right? So whether you do it on the computer or you do it on pencil and paper, doesn't matter to me. Friday's the day I'm going to check it. The same day that we do our test. So Friday's the day that you turn in your homework. All right, and Haidin, just so you can see, here's our spelling list again. So just in case you missed them or anyone needs them again, we have the word better, B-E-T-T-E-R. Funny, F-U-N-N-Y. We have dinner, D-I-N-N-E-R. We have 8, A-T-E. We have 8, like the number, E-I-G-H-T. We have buy, B-U-Y. We have buy, B-Y, like a book or a song. We have about, A-B-O-U-T. We have could, C-O-U-L-D. We have looked, L-O-O-K-E-D. And that's our spelling list for this week. All right. If you're still missing them, or if we lose or misplace the paper that we wrote down our spelling list on, I'm also going to put it on Class Dojo so mom or dad can see, and that way if it gets lost or you put it somewhere and you forget where it is, then I'll go ahead and put it up there. That way they can check it. Okay, so that's our spelling list for this week. The spelling homework is going to be the same every week. You'll still have the same choices, just with different words every week. All right. I'll still post this in the Google Classroom just in case you forget what your choices are for a different day. You could always come back and check and see what you can do for spelling homework on each of the different days.